Thank you very much for joining me for Diary of a Gunpla Noob. Episode 1, Why Gunpla and Choosing the Suit. This is a little short series I'm going to do on something a little bit different to what I'm normally focused on the channel with the Horus Heresy game series. What I'm going to be doing is, well, a few weeks back I bought the Bandai M61 Tank kit, which I've did a comprehensive series of reviews on. Just in case you've not seen those yet, let me just flash it up in front of you as to what it is, and you know. And having built this tank, I was really rather enjoyed the whole push fit kit system. So here we go. This is the M61 Hardgraph kit by Bandai. Excellent kit. I'll leave links to my reviews on this. Anyway, and having bought that and also having visited the store where I bought it, which is Japan Cool, so I'll leave a link to them as well. They've got a fantastic range of Gunpla models, so definitely check those guys out. I thought, ooh, I'd like to give this a go. So yeah, just for fun, let's buy a Gunpla kit and have a go at building it and see what it's like. And it's been a long time since I've done anything robot kit wise, and to demonstrate just how long, I'm going to show you, well, the last robot kits I did, and these are very old. I'm going to show my age here, but you may remember the Macross anime, I think that's the correct title for it, the original one. And at the time, the Japanese model kit company Imai did a series of models, and this is the first one I got, which was an armoured Valkyrie destroyed. Now this has seen better days, and it's had several paint jobs, and when I last did something with this, which was probably over 20 years ago, I kind of got part way through repainting it and then gave up. But yeah, so I've had this guy for like almost 35 years. So yeah, that was my first ever robot kit of this type. And then I also got another one. This one's stood the test of time somewhat better. This is the Destroyed Tomahawk, also by Imai. And I converted this into a war robot years later. And you can see I covered up the gun ports and the cockpit there and gave it some snarly teeth with blood. I must have been feeling blood and some battle damage. But you know, another one of the nice Imai destroyed kits from Macross. But yeah, again, that was a long time ago. And then I think the last robot model I actually bought was this particular oddity. Now again, this is had a bit of some conversion jobs on it. I think this is 1 to 144th scale, if I remember rightly, though that is very tenuous at remembering. It used to have a pilot capsule here, which I removed because I wanted to turn it into a war robot as opposed to something piloted and use it for, you know, 40k scale, 28mm scale miniatures. So this was the last one I did, and again, that's probably 25 years ago I did him, a long time ago. If anyone knows what this is, I'll be fascinating to know. I can't remember what it was. I can't even remember who made the kit. But if you know, let me know in the comments. I'll be very grateful and fascinated to hear that. So yeah, so that is my experience of making plastic robot models, shall we say, from Japan. On to Gunpla, or Gundam suit. So I thought about, so I spent a long time looking at what was available, being given lots of advice from the guys at Japan Cool, and and that was very handy in helping give me an idea, and particularly understanding the different grades of kits. So you know, the real grade, the master grade, perfect grade, so on and so forth. I was very tempted by the perfect grade kits, particularly the Unicorn, which I thought was great, but it's a really big project and I didn't want to jump in quite so deep for my first one. Not for necessarily the lack of ability. The expectation I've got with this is going to be a really fun modelling project, and the kits have got an excellent reputation for precision fit. However, I wanted to start with something a bit smaller. I settled on the idea of buying a 1 to 100th master grade kit. And I looked at quite a few, and I shortlisted them, and I looked at the well, I initially thought about, shall I get a Macross kit? You know, being familiar with the Macross thing, I'm a big Battletech fan, and I played it in the era of when they had the so-called unseen mechs, many of which were taken from Macross, as well as other anime like Dugram and, is it Rekka Joe for the Locust? Correct me if I'm wrong there. So I was kind of initially tempted by that, but then the greater choice for me was in the Gundam suits. So I thought, no, I'm going to go with a Gundam suit, even though it's a genre I'm a lot less familiar with. So I made myself a little short list, and I looked at, what did I look at? Delta Plus, the Buster Gundam, the Zaku Black Trinary, which I think there's a number of, the Jesters, there's several versions of those, they're very nice. Sinanju Stein, which is a great looking one with an enormous hand cannon, it's great. A couple of other Zaku 2s, the HGUC EZ8. Finally, the RX78-2, which I think is generally seen as being like the classic Gundam suit. So I spent quite a lot of time looking at these, looked at the kits, mulled it over, chatted with the Japan cool guys quite a bit, got their sort of ideas, and eventually I settled on the idea of getting the RX78-2, and this is the version 3 kit. So let's see if I can pull off the camera work here. If I make that go up a bit, yep, and if I make this come down a bit, hopefully, there you go. And that is a kit I got. So if we get these guys to stand aside. So yes, I went for this guy, the RX78-2 Gundam prototype close combat mobile suit. And I chose this because, why did I choose this one in the end? I actually really like the colours. The pale grey against the white is really nicely represented in the kit. And then I also like the 3 primary colours as well on the torso. So you've got the red, the blue and the yellow. And I just really, it looks really good. And I thought, yeah, why not? And I'm going to have a go at doing the panel lining on this. I don't think I'm not going to paint the whole thing. I'm going to try to do the panel lining. I thought it was a kit that looked well suited to that. And also watching around YouTube, the Gundam community seemed to rate this kit quite highly as well. So I thought, yeah, let's go for it. Shall we do a little bit of an unboxing review? Yeah. Okay, so here we are with an eagle eye top-down view on the box. And we're going to now unpack this fella. Now, before we do this, let's just talk about size. So this is a big box. Here we have a trusty 30cm ruler, and we see that the box is, what, 40 by 30 centimeters, and then it's also quite deep as well. You know, it's a thick box as well. Yeah, it's a thick box as well. However, this is all going to assemble into a suit that's around, I believe, 20 centimeters tall, which is so big. So yeah, one thing that instantly fascinates me with this is the sheer number of parts and how they're all going to condense down into this relatively small model. And it just makes me quite intrigued and excited as to how intricate this is going to be. Because of course, if we have a quick tour around the box, yeah, nice pictures. Here we go. As is standard, I believe, in master grade. You've got the external setup, but then you also have the internal frame as well, or the inner frame, should I say, according to this. So you can then layer the armour onto the outer frame. So I guess there's two layers to this kit, and that must feed into the high parts count. Yeah, so you get this little fighter job here, the core fighter, which looks groovy. A variety of, I think you get a shield, some sort of sword, and then this handheld rifle of some sort, and then a shoulder-mounted bazooka type weapon or rocket launcher type weapon, probably missile launcher. Yes, and there you go, some sort of energy sword type device as well, and lots of detail. So it all looks really rather swishy. Yeah, very nice, and even a figure detail. And this is alluding to the very clever and intricate articulation that these kits carry. So yeah, just an interesting thought there. So let's have a look inside the box. So put that to one side. I'll tell you what, if we put this on one side and then we'll unpack it from left to right. So we've got my invoice there. Don't need to review that. Don't want any incriminating evidence for Mrs. Leakycheese, goodness me. So I get an instruction manual, which is printed on Very nicely printed, very good quality paper it feels. So it's about 20 or 30 pages long. Of course it's all in Japanese, but I believe these are nice and straightforward to follow by pictures alone. Great picture, great artwork, and showing off the details of the kit. Oh, so does this mean this little core fighter thingy, does that actually convert and go inside the torso? It does, doesn't it? I think. Wow, now that's fun. I like that. That looks a great instruction manual. Right, and gosh, look at this. There's a lot of sprues in here. This is I'll say the box is 90 to 95% full, so the big box is not wasted size-wise. So let's have a quick look. So we've got dark grey sprue, so this looks predominantly weapons. And here's the, I presume, what is the rifle, which we saw on the front. And then we have the part of the shield, the external part of the shield. Got some nice decals. And I love this clever injection molding technique of putting multiple colours onto single sprues. That's very clever indeed. What's this one here? We've got another mixed colour sprue here. I believe this is a hand assembly. There's the energy sword. What's that? I don't know, is that? No, you get a spare. That's probably, I don't know if it carries two swords or if maybe it's in case to give you a spare in case of a breakage. Any of the parts. Looking at these, I mean, might not be too easy to see, but the intricacy of these parts is amazing. Such sharp moulding and such very impressive three-dimensional depth. I mean, just looking at this, I think this is a fuselage of the core fighter here. And even some clear parts as well on this. Excellent. Right, what we've got here. So we've got the third. So this is got a pale grey, or almost like a slightly tan grey. Interesting colour that. And then a much lighter, paler grey. So this is almost like a sea grey. Even lighter actually. It's like ash grey, isn't it? You can see there's some leg parts here, and so you've got some are these some internal leg parts and external. This looks like external leg components, and then that is a repeat. Oh no, it's not. That is it. No, it's not a repeat of the same frame. This is something different. That's the sandy grey one, or the tan grey one is, but this has got some extra parts in it. Looks like part of the head, perhaps. Unboxing this and looking at it, it's fascinating just trying to figure out how all these parts are going to go together, because there's just so many parts on this. These are all external armor components, it looks. And then here, this, I'm guessing, is predominantly parts for the inner frame. Then we have another dark and light pack. So the white here, this is the second part of the shield. I think this is the inner part of the shield, the red is the outer. Dark grey bits are more inner frame components in general, it looks like. We've got this white frame here, it looks like the rocket launcher parts, or predominantly the rocket launcher parts. These are poly caps, so it's going to have lots of movement, this. Then more parts for the externals. We've got here parts of what looks like the head assembly. Oops, one part's escaped from the sprue there. And one last sprue. There you go, got a nice blue. That's the chest section. Some more clear parts, and then what looks like actually the torso components for the inner frame. That gives an idea of the size there quite well, actually. Yeah. Wow. So that's a lot of parts, and I wonder. Yeah, that's a lot of parts. So yes, that is. So that's my unboxing on the RX78-2 Gundam Suit. This is Master Grade Series version 3. So I hope you found that interesting. I think this is an absolutely fascinating looking model. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to build it. I'll do a series of these Gundam Noob diaries as I work through this. So I'm waiting on the lining markers to arrive at the moment. So I'm not in a rush to start building this, but yeah, I'll post updates as I start to build it and just, you know, share my experience. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you've got any advice, I'll be interested to hear it. As I say, as a self-declared Gundam noob. But anyway, thank you very much for watching. I will speak to you next time, and goodbye.